Octavia here.
Sean here.
And today we're talking about quarantine and chill. That's right. Everyone's staying indoors. Everyone is trying to stay healthy and safe. So we're going to give you 10 good reasons to stay indoors and watch Netflix instead. Okay, so coming in at number 10, we've got Small Town Crime.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is a good one. I know you particularly wanted to add this to the list, and I can guess why.
You can?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, we saw it at South by Southwest, and I enjoyed it. Is that the reason?
Yes, that very vague reason is for sure the reason.
What's the reason?
Well, because it's about like an ex-cop who's like an alcoholic. It's played by John Cox. He's terrific in this. A lot of fun. But you know what? Like a dead girl just basically, he stumbles over her, and so he can't help but investigate. And then he gets embroiled in all these shady characters. You know, stuff just keeps happening to the poor guy. But there's like a lot of cool cars to drive. You love those action sequences. I know you did. There's like a noir kind of element to it, almost a Western kind of feel to it. It's got a great cast, including Octavia Spencer and Clifton Collins Jr. So, it's a lot of fun, and I know you particularly enjoyed it.
I did.
And more than that, because at number 9, we have a movie. I'm going to let you tell the people the movie you made me put on this list.
Oh, Babe, Pig in the City. That's Babe 2.
Babe 2, the sequel. You may not even know that there was a sequel. Like me, I didn't know there was a sequel. I've never seen it, but apparently it really warmed the cockles of Sean's little heart.
Yeah, I guess it did. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I didn't see the first Babe on there. Maybe it is and I missed it, but Babe 2 is just as good. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same, to be honest.
James Cromwell is back again as the farmer.
He's not in it very much, though.
Okay.
It's really more...
Well, I guess, because it seems Babe has strayed from the farm and gone to the city.
Well, he has, but
if the title can be believed.
He's gone with the James Cromwell's wife.
Okay.
So she is in the city and also having a fish out of water experience, much like Babe is.
Okay. Is Babe her support animal, or why did she bring a pig to the city?
Babe gets lost. I think they're going for some competition and they like...
Yes, okay, for sure.
Babe gets lost in the city.
Oh no, so it's like a Home Alone but for pigs.
A little bit.
Okay.
And he goes to this crazy like boarding house.
Babe and Kevin McAllister are wandering the streets of New York City.
Well, the interesting thing is it's not New York City because
I'm sorry, I don't know why I just assumed that.
Well, it's an amalgam because it has like Venetian canals throughout, which is like a whole
So
set
it's Vegas.
piece. Yeah, it might be Vegas.
Or in Venice.
It's not Venice. It might be Vegas.
Okay, fair enough. So you enjoy that movie.
I enjoy it, yeah, It's a good movie.
Another good movie, at number 8 we have The Founder.
Oh yeah.
So if you missed this one, you should definitely check it out because it's very interesting, but also a very well done movie with a great cast. It's about the two brothers who made McDonald's. So they're played by John Carroll Lynch and Nick Offerman. And more importantly, the guy who stole it from him and turned McDonald's into the behemoth, crazy #1 fast food chain in the world that we know today, McDonald's. So that Ray Kroc is played by Michael Keaton. So you really, you've probably grown up eating McDonald's and never really knew the story that the two guys named McDonald got pushed out right in the beginning, and it was Ray Kroc who swooped in and made all the money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was an interesting watch because I knew the name Ray Kroc, but I just did think he invented it, and no. It's much more shady than that.
Yeah.
It's very good. And as you said, the cast is excellent, especially the 3 that you named. They're really, really good together. And it's as fun a movie as it can be when we're talking about a guy swooping in and destroying 2 people's lives.
Yes. And like rubbing it in their faces on every street corner in the world. Like you really can never live that down. Like you will always have that rubbed in your nose for as long as you're alive. And like even probably their kids were like, please bring us to McDonald's. And they were like, no, we are strictly a Burger King family.
Yeah, that's right.
But Dad, it's our name. No. Okay, so at number 7 we have Lion.
Oh yeah.
So this one was kind of an unexpected hit, I think. Whatever year this came out, we were at TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival, and this wasn't on our list to see. Although we would have seen it, we just didn't have time, or so we thought. But everybody was talking about this movie, and like I read the book, so I felt like, okay, like I know what it's about, good, it's gonna be a nice one. But people were talking about it like it could have won the People's Choice Award. So we were like, we better see this movie. We can't leave the festival without seeing it. So we did change tickets around and we went to see it. Dev Patel plays this guy who, as a small child in India, he was separated from his family riding the trains. And like he comes from not a small village. There maybe are no small villages in India. Quite populous, but not a big city. And he just rides the train and gets lost. And he's so little, he doesn't know what his mom's name is, doesn't know where his address, nothing. And so he ends up getting put into an orphanage and adopted by an Australian couple. Excuse me. So Nicole Kidman plays the woman who adopts him. And they have a very good relationship. And he's not the only one that they've adopted from India. So there have been challenges with the adoption. And one day he just gets it in his head to like look for his family because he has these, even though he was really small, he has these little bursts of memory. And he's like, I wasn't an orphan. I think my mother is still alive. I had siblings. And all he can remember are a few clues. Like I saw there was a water tower. I don't know. So he just one day sits down at a computer in the early days of Google Maps. Google Earth, thank you. Google Earth, when you can zoom in with the satellite. And imagine looking all over. India's a big country to begin with. It has a very extensive railroad system. But he just kept doing it day after day after day after day until one day he finds it. Yeah. And so he makes a pilgrimage. He goes back and he finds his mother and his brother and it's a true story because of course you couldn't put that in a movie and we wouldn't believe it. But it is a true story. It did really happen to this guy. It's an amazing story and it's such a beautiful reunion and you really should see it. Number 6, we have Snowpiercer. So you have no doubt heard about Bong Joon-ho and his terrific Parasite. It just won the Best Picture at the Oscars this year. But that one, you may not be surprised to know that was not his first movie. He's got several in his canon. They're all really good. But we are recommending Snowpiercer because you can find it on Netflix and it's in English, starring people you know. And it basically has a lot of the same themes as Parasite. It's about a class system and how, the rich people are super reliant on the poor people, and because of that, they are very invested in keeping them poor. So it's basically a big old train because the world has frozen over and all of humanity lives on this perpetually moving train now, and if it stops, they freeze to death. So they just keep going. And the caboose is jam-packed with the poor people who are living like rats. They have no sunlight, they barely have food, it's a terrible existence. And the front of the train is like a beautiful spa party all the time. Spa disco party.
Yes.
Just, they're living real well up there. And the people in the back decide to rise up and stage a rebellion. So it is super tense, like Parasite. It's very tense. Chris Evans and Jamie Bell star. Tilda Swinton is so great in it. Yes, I love seeing her in that. And yeah, they just keep marching forward, but of course, the people in the front are not going to let this go easily.
No.
So, it's bloody, it's tough, it's gritty, it's a really dark movie. I'm not going to lie, it's a dark movie to watch, but it is so good.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. It's really cool, and it's not something you see a lot of. It's really a unique picture of a train. It's so contained. Yeah. Nobody can get away from this. You are just
you're in on this confrontation whether you want to be or not.
Yeah, it's true, but also every car they pass through is different, and there's a whole lot of stuff on this train because it is the last of humanity.
Yeah. Okay, so changing tones completely. Number 5 is Don't Think Twice.
Oh yeah, you reminded me of this because I passed by it and they were like, "Hey, that's
a good one." I love this one. It's written and directed by Mike Birbiglia, who is one of my favorite stand-up comics. I think he's really genuine and down to earth, and sweet, and his comedy is often very autobiographical. So this was a bit of a departure for him, but not a total one because it is about a group of comedians. So in this case, they're improv. They're an improv troupe. And everybody in the troupe, has the same basic dream of making it on SNL. They don't call it SNL in the movie, but it's SNL.
Yeah.
That's the big dream. And then one day, 2 people who are a couple, so it's Keegan-Michael Key and Jillian Jacobs, they both get auditions. One of them gets cast. So first of all, what happens in the troupe is that all the other friends are like, "Oh, congratulations," but secretly inside they're dying and they hope you die, and because you're happy for your friend, but you're so sad for yourself because we all want the same thing. And now in this couple, one of you is achieving all of your dreams. And so not only is it hard for the person who isn't, but it's hard for the person who is, because achieving those dreams comes at a cost.
Yeah.
Your friends are jealous and envious, and your partner is feeling dejected, and it's tough on everyone, as it turns out. And yet it still manages to be completely funny and a really good movie. It's just a lot of fun. I love the writing.
Yeah, it's excellent.
So number 4 is Papi Chulo. This one was another festival discovery for me. It didn't get a big release, so you may never have heard of it before, but it's worth checking out. It's a real sweetheart of a movie. I fell in love with it, and how could you not? It's Matt Bomer, is starring as a weatherman. So he's on the air one day and basically has a meltdown on live television. So he's put on mandatory leave, asked not to come back for a long time. And it seems like not just his colleagues, but his friends have been concerned about him. He's not been doing well. He really should talk to somebody, they keep suggesting, and he doesn't want to because that would be admitting he has a problem. And he does kind of have a problem because his partner recently left him, and he's real sad inside. And every day he just goes home and gazes out at his deck, where he and his partner had been painting the deck, only they broke up before they finished it. Nobody ever states this, but there's a big unpainted circle in the middle of the deck. So I just feel like projects are not their strong suit. Perhaps they fought about painting the deck. They painted them in a literal circle.
Yeah.
So, little Mr. Weatherman isn't used to getting his hands dirty. Can't really complete the project on his own. He does try. It's a pathetic attempt. So he goes to his local home hardware store and gets a day laborer. So he picks up Ernesto and is going to pay him $20 an hour to paint his deck, which is a nice little payday, let me tell you. Ernesto is thrilled. We assume Ernesto does not speak English. He only speaks Spanish. The weatherman does not speak Spanish. But he understands he's supposed to paint the deck. He gets the deck painted. But you know what? It turns out that somebody who doesn't understand your language is a kind of a good therapist. You could tell anything to this guy, and he just nods and gives the thumbs up. And he's getting paid $20 an hour, so he's extra naughty and thumbs uppy. Why wouldn't you be?
That's a pretty good deal for therapy.
Yeah, well, yes. So the deck gets painted, but he keeps picking Ernesto up every day, and they go hiking together, and then they're going for boat rides in the park and posing for Instagram. So, he's not just using him as a therapist, but almost as a replacement boyfriend. And this guy is a middle-aged, he's married, he's got kids, he's, and he has no part in this. They do not speak the same language, these two people. So, as much as it's a very heartwarming friendship that springs up between them, you also understand that it's toxic because he's just supplanted. He's just put all of these weird feelings on this poor guy who's taking them for $20 an hour.
Well, I mean...
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, but it's really a sweet movie, and I really enjoyed. I mean, Odd Couple is always putting it too lightly, but it's a really kind of cute story, and I like it a lot. So at number 3, we have A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, you know what? It was. I wasn't panned or anything, but I don't think it got the love it deserved. It's actually like a really amazing movie. It looks cool. There's so much going on. You know, it's got great source material and a super good cast. You know, where else are you going to find Oprah and Reese Witherspoon and Mindy Kaling, Chris Pine? Lots, and the kids are so great in it too, of course. And they have to be for this movie to work. And like, there's just, you know, you discover new worlds. Ava DuVernay is a treasure, and she really, I mean, there's some beautiful stuff in this movie. Really beautiful stuff.
It's really amazing to look at, and it is a good story. It's a classic. Probably most of you have read it in school. I certainly did. And I think it's a very good adaptation of, you know, a difficult thing to make into a movie.
And it's great family viewing too.
Yes, yes it is. So 1 extra point for that.
Yes. Okay, number 2 is The Greatest Showman, which is almost a number 1, let me tell you. I have this soundtrack on record. I play it all the time because it always makes me happy. And sometimes I just put it on Netflix and fast forward to my favorite songs. And that's all right. I loved this. We saw it in theaters, and it was one of those movies that was almost like a sleeper hit. It just kept going and going and going, and it like made records for how long it stayed in theaters, and it was just basically word of mouth that was really getting everybody to see this movie, and it is really an incredible movie. It
is. For some reason it didn't get great reviews, and I never understood that. Like, having seen it, I don't know how you dislike this movie. I think it is just has such a happy, positive energy. There are great songs from start to finish. Hugh Jackman's great. Zac Efron's great.
He plays a guy who really puts together the first modern circus. So he gathers all these, you know, people that would have one day been in a freak show, and he makes them the star. He gives them a way to feel empowered about their differences, and he really puts on a spectacular show.
Yes, he does.
Is a showman. He's the greatest showman. And it's so much fun to watch. There's such a great cast. Zendaya is in it. Zac Efron really is kind of incredible in it. Michelle Williams. Like, it's a really, really fun movie. It's inspiring. It makes you feel good.
Yeah, what more could you ask for?
Yes, everyone should see it. And like, watch it again. It's so good. Watch it again. But the one that edged this one out for me is one I don't have the soundtrack to, but I wish I did. It's called Hearts Beat Loud.
Oh, that's a yes.
Yes. So this is a film by Brett Haley. Write that name down. He is a terrific director. I have loved everything that he does, and he keeps getting better and better. They're super, like, just mature movies with, like, such great themes. And everyone he works with wants to come back and work with him again, because in his first movie, well, at least the first one I watched, I think it's probably his first one, it was a Blythe Danner starring, you know, a vehicle for her, but Sam Elliott was sort of in the supporting cast, and then he wrote the hero for Sam Elliott, and Nick Offerman was in the supporting cast, and now he wrote Hearts Beat Loud for Nick Offerman. And he plays the father. His daughter is Kiersey Clemons, who is also so good in this. And he's really sad because it's just been the two of them for a long time, and she's about to go off to college. And so as a kind of last-ditch effort to bond with her, he wants to start up basically a family band. They're both musicians, and they like jamming together. But all of a sudden, they come up with this song that's kind of like wonderful, and so it kind of starts making them both a little bit excited about the possibilities. And it's really, I mean, the music is fabulous in this.
It is. I mean, the movie works so well because of how good the songs are that you
It's
feel
very
like,
believable.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So Sasha Lane is in this, Blythe Tanner is in this, Ted Danson is in this as his best friend / bartender, which is kind of like a fun little bonus. But yeah, this is another movie that's just kind of heartwarming in its way, but it's like sweet and funny, and it just has all of the elements you could possibly want, and they're all in a movie that is sweetly drawn, sweetly written, and just a really, really nice one that I think has not had a lot of attention, and it deserves all of the attention.
It does. I mean, we discovered it because you know Brett Haley, and we were at South by Southwest for the premiere of this one, and of course we would go see it based on his previous stuff, and it's great. It's one of the best movies we saw at that festival, and we're happy to find it on Netflix because it is worth a rewatch. Again,
And we have.
Yeah, we have. The story is great, the performances are great, the music is great.
And
It's
Toni
great.
Collette.
And Toni Collette, yes.
This movie was like practically made for me. I love Nick Offerman and I love Toni Collette, so it's just like, oh, okay. How could I not? How could I not be in that audience?
And you were, and it was great.
And even if you don't love all of those people, you're still gonna love them in this movie.
I think so.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, give it a try.
Mr. Big Pig in the City is doubting. Oh. Yes, I think you could watch your own Netflix tonight, Sean, in the other room, maybe.
Bunk bed.
That's right. You can hold your little remote and watch your pig movies all you want. How do you like that?
I don't, actually.
Okay.
Let's watch Hearts Beats Loud and then The Greatest Showman, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay. Maybe not the chill part of the quarantine and chill.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, no matter how you watch it, do watch some of these movies and do take care. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye, everyone.